Well, thanks for being here, Laura. Can you please introduce yourself to our readers and tell them a little bit about your experience in blockchain?
So Jad, thank you for having me. I'm one of the followers of Block by Block, and I like what you're doing in this space. Plus, I like what Agora is doing, Yani, for all these years. So my name is Lara Abdulmalak. I've been in the blockchain ecosystem since around 2017. I started out in 2014, actually, but 2017 was the big takeoff. Prior to, so I'm a journalist, I'm a writer, I'm a blogger. I was the editor-in-chief of Unlock, which was the first and only blockchain crypto media platform in the region. And yeah, I've had many things. I've done many things in my life, from telecom to tech. I've always been a tech writer, and I've done a lot of communications and PR and telecom and etc. So I've had a very tumultuous career.
Right. Thank you for that. You got to see a lot of blockchain space in the 5 years you were at Unlock Blockchain. How do you feel things have changed over the years?
Wow, it's changed dramatically. So Jad, I want to go back to before. So in 2014, I was a journalist for the Iqtisad wal A'mal group, and I was covering an event that's called Cybus. It's a financial event, and it was happening in Boston. But I'm a tech person, so I was covering the tech side of it. There was something called InnoTribe that they were doing on the side. And I was attending it, and they were talking about Bitcoin and blockchain. And at that time, they were talking colored coins. And there was this really kind of like skinny guy, and he was talking about blockchain and Ethereum and so forth. And it turned out to be Vitalik. So I interviewed him for Al-Iqtisad wal-A'mal, and I was really taken by what he had to say. He's 21, he just got his first 18 million, and he's like this very nerdy guy, right? But what he said was mind-blowing for me, because he said, we are going to put everything that you see on the physical assets today are going to be on the blockchain. And that means you're going to be able to, if you can put your house on the blockchain, you're going to be able to sell it instantly. If you put your car, if you put whatever. So everything is going to be eventually on the blockchain. So when I came back to to Beirut, I was excited. And I said, look, this is the future, guys. And we have to start writing about this and so forth. But at that time, it was still all crypto-centric. So no one would listen to the fact that there was the underlying tech platform that the Bitcoin sat on, and that was what was important. So it took some time. So what happened is I was covering the GCC, the technology sector in the GCC, and I used to know the Smart Dubai. And Smart Dubai in 2017, under the leadership of Dr. Aisha bin Bishir, came up with the UAE government with the blockchain, the Dubai blockchain strategy. And they needed the knowledge platform at that time no one knew anything about it. So Iqtisad wal A'mal did the first event for them in 2018 in January. So that was the first blockchain event that ever happened in the region. It was amazing, but the knowledge base was very, very minimum. So people didn't know anything about it. But today, this is huge what's happening. Everybody knows blockchain, everybody knows crypto, everybody's investing, everybody's trying to, use it for payments. So big, huge jump in just 5 years, which is incredible. And I talk too much, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, not at all. Not at all. I want to hear your opinions and thoughts on this. Speaking of this rise, what area of blockchain sort of excites you the most?
So I'm always into anything that adds value to people. Okay. I think that anything that you can build, supply chain for me, the financial part of it, payments, the ones that have already started going somewhere. I think these are great. I like the NFTs, but I like NFTs not in just the JPEG images or whatever they're doing, the Bored Apes or whatever. I like NFTs for real estate in the future, for health and medical records, maybe for everything that we can use to put in, information or, whatever that we have and use it in the real world. But that's interesting. DeFi is interesting. I like DeFi. There's so many, but I still think that there isn't one place that we have found, where everything is going to move towards in the next couple of years. It's very open.
Yeah, there's definitely so many avenues to explore with blockchain, and I'm pretty excited to see where sort of the mainstream is heading for, because I have my suspicions that it's not going to be metaverse centric. It's going to be a lot more like what you said, like storage and supply management and financial payments. That's just my suspicion, but we'll see.
I hope our suspicions meet together.
So Lara, you're one of the few female leaders here in a very male-dominated space. Were there ever moments in your career where you felt that things were different for you because of your gender?
I don't think it's just if you're in the blockchain per se. Okay, I mean, let's say that women in general, when they're moving throughout their career, whether in different sectors, they have it's harder a bit for them to move forward. But at the same time, I've garnered a lot of respect from people. So today I blog and I write, and even though it's dominated by males, but they have respect for the women who are playing a role in the blockchain ecosystem, and I like that. It's going to be harder because women aren't usually the techie people. But women bring to the table that everyday sense of how do you bring that technology to your everyday lives, right? And I think that's what women should look in when they're looking into blockchain. Should look into that. They don't have to be developers, they don't have to be coders, but they have to. But they just can put in their day-to-day stuff and say, hey, blockchain can be used for this, or crypto can be used for this, or NFTs or whatever.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's fantastic. It's really glad to hear that, especially in this space. The MENA region is sort of brimming with blockchain talent. There's a very, very low number of female founders and female leaders in the space, but it's good to hear that this isn't particularly a result of
and chauvinism.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so.
So that's great to hear.
You see, there are a lot of women. Like I'm seeing developers or businesswomen that are coming out.
Yeah.
And they're in the blockchain space and they're being, encouraged. So
That's fantastic. And my final question for you, Lara, if you would give any advice to upcoming women in the space, what would it be?
Always work on your strengths, right? And don't be intimidated by the words of like blockchain and crypto and DeFi and all of these things, because they're not that hard to grasp. Okay. And try to always, the technology in the end is not technology for technology's sake, right? So we're using technology to empower ourselves, to make our societies better, and women have always played a role doing that. So just continue to do that and you'll be fine. I mean, I think there's more chances for women to do things in the blockchain arena, right? Because it helps them, for money, micro payments, micro businesses and all of these creative things that women are really good at, whether it's art or culture or music, so they can bring that into the mix. And I think we'll see more women come into this space.
That's awesome. I hope so. I hope so. And thank you so much for taking the time today to answer these questions for me. It was a real pleasure getting to speak to you. I've read your work. I read your work almost every day. So so it's good to put a face on.
I love seeing your likes, Shad, and I really thank you for the support. Yeah, and I love what you guys are doing and what you're doing in particular. I think no matter how many people there are, writing about the subject or doing videos or talking, there's still room for more, because this is ultimately growing. And what I really like in this digitization age is that, you can be an influencer yourself. You don't have to belong to any kind of big conglomerate, but you can do it yourself. And I'm very proud of you all. And it was great speaking to you.
Likewise, Lara.